The whole point of arcade machines is to get you to insert more coins, which is why they often employ every trick in the book to get you to keep playing, from emotional blackmail to ludicrously unfair boss fights.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Or just ludicrous boss fights, I guess. The cruelest money-grabbing technique of all, however, was the continue screen, in which a timer ticked down, imploring you to insert more money before a terrible fate befell your beloved hero. But not everyone can turn into pure energy like Michael Jackson, apparently. And the more horrible these continue screens were, the more likely you were to pay up, which is why some of these just have to be seen to be believed. The bad guys in Final Fight are Mad Gear, a street gang made up of punks, professional wrestlers, and people whose laughs are just too weird to allow them to fit into normal society. But while they might seem like a fun group with their colourful outfits and somersaults, they're actually total psychopaths, as evidenced by what they do with their defeated enemies. Run out of lives in Final Fight and you'll be treated to this continue screen, where the game asks you to insert more money to stop the tied-up Cody, Guy, or Hagger being blown up by a bundle of dynamite that's been set on the table in front of them. Hagger is gamely trying to blow out the fuse, Cody is shaking his head in horrified disbelief, and Guy is just sort of freaking out in a non-specific way, which, #relatable. Are you really going to let these poor guys get splattered all over the warehouse's walls for the sake of a few coins? Capcom seems to be saying. Oh, you are. Well, guess that's why they had to step things up for the next games in the series, and why in Final Fight 2, the continue screen has your helpless hero manacled to the wall in a room slowly filling with water. And Final Fight 3 featured, holy shit, a load of spikes slowly pushing themselves towards their face. Still, at least it looks like Guy has got over his fears and is actively trying to fight the spikes by headbutting them. I love the optimism, Guy. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is another Capcom beat-em-up from 1993, in which your group of tight-clothed adventurers journey around the world just beating the ever-loving hell out of a bunch of dinosaurs. And occasionally drive Cadillacs, hence the name. However, fighting dinosaurs is a dangerous business, and as such you might sometimes find yourself running out of lives, after being on the dangerous end of a Triceratops horn one too many times. When this happens, you'll be greeted by the game's continue screen, in which the game's first boss, who you presumably killed a while ago, points a gun at your face and tells you how much you suck. You refuse to pay up, and the bad guy hesitates, lowers his gun, and breaks down, confessing that he can't bring himself to do it, and he's sick of this life of crime. You then embrace and tell him everything's going to be alright. Only kidding, he shoots you in the face. Harsh. Plus, if you do put more money in, you're treated to Quiffy McFur Coat here being given the knuckle sandwich he so richly deserves. In fact, where's my wallet? You win this round, Capcom.
Hang your player!
In 1993, Capcom looked at comic book anti-hero The Punisher and thought to themselves, this guy's great and all, but how on earth can we make a game about a guy who walks through city streets beating up criminal gang members? I mean, what would you even call that kind of game? Then they remembered that they made side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and The Punisher was released to rave reviews from players and extremely negative reviews from video game gang members who were now being mercilessly beaten and shot to death by Frank Castle. Occasionally, however, those gang members triumph, which is when you get to see the Punisher's frankly harrowing continue screen. In it, the Punisher's ally Microchip is frantically performing CPR on the stricken vigilante as the timer ticks down. If you're not putting in any more money, you have to stand there and watch the light go out in the Punisher's eyes and witness Microchip's anguish as he realizes he can't save his friend. Wow. Maybe we'll put some money in next time and the Punisher will realise that this vigilante life is only going to end one way. Maybe he'll change his ways and... Nope, he's firing his gun wildly into the air. Okay, sticking with that, are we, Frank? Ninja Gaiden Arcade, known as Shadow Warriors in Europe, followed a ninja as he did typical ninja stuff, like fighting multiple Jasons, gambling in high-end casinos, and crossing roads in the most difficult way possible. Hey, he didn't spend 10 years at Ninja Academy to walk a block to the crossing. Still, catch one too many Road Warrior combos to the face and you'll end up here, the Ninja Gaiden Continue screen, in which your ninja is tied down while a bunch of, I guess, wolves and sentient trees look on as a circular sword descends towards his abdomen. Still, I've heard amazing things about the ninja. I bet this is one of those situations where he can tense all his muscles at once and the saw will bend, and then he'll relax all his muscles and be free of his bonds, at which point... Oh well, it was probably only a matter of time before he was hit by a truck anyway. 1989's Tecmo Knight tells the story of a small knight who spent all his time either riding around on a tiger or being given a piggyback by his massive mate, Smokeman. Adorable. Anyway, as Tecmo Knight, it's up to you to beat the hell out of giant gorillas and such, because if you don't, you'll end up on the Continue screen, in which Tecmo Knight is rapidly being crushed in the jaws of an unseen monster, and holy shit, you better hurry up, because this thing is not f***ing around. To add insult to injury, if you allow Tecmo Knight to be devoured by the monster, a cool sort of wolf-devil thing will burst through the screen and scream, "No future!" in your face. I mean, I want to be mad, but it's hard to get angry at something that cool.
Scorpion wins.
Look, I know we all agreed to never talk about Mortal Kombat 4 again, but really, it doesn't get much more emotionally manipulative than that game's pit Continue screen, in which your chosen fighter is plummeting down a terrifyingly long drop, and the only thing standing between them and a face full of spikes is you sticking another coin in the machine. Given that this fall takes about 20 seconds total, the mortal combatants will have fallen about a mile before they slam into the ground, which makes the spikes a tad unnecessary, but hey, this is Mortal Kombat. Give the people what they want. While relatively unknown in the West, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one of the best-selling manga series of all time, and has spawned countless books, movies, and video games, including 1999's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Heritage for the Future.
Perfect.
This was a fighting game in which various immaculately dressed people battle each other using stands, entities they can summon to help them in battle that are also, not coincidentally, immaculately dressed. Sometimes even these stands are no match for your opponents, however, and you'll find yourself at the Continue screen, which is, for some reason, run by Darby, a minor character from the manga that Heritage for the Future is based on. Darby is a gambler who, if you let the timer reach 0, will summon his stand, an entity called Osiris, who smashes you between his palms so hard that you turn into a poker chip. To be honest, being a poker chip is probably going to make finishing the game pretty difficult from here on out. Probably call it quits now. Those are some of the most harrowing arcade game over screens ever to threaten our wallets, but if we've missed off one of your favourites, drop it in the comments below and be sure to like and subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos like this from Outside Xbox every week. Thanks for watching!